Hey guys, Damon Hunt with Hunt the Forex trading levels here. Let's just go over last night's trade a little bit here because we had this beautiful level of confluence that was obliterated. And you remember I had this trend line here, and I think it was actually breaking when I gave you guys the video. I don't remember. Anyway, this was the trade. There's a minor level in there I was talking about. I think this is right. You can always check the video. Anyway, I said don't take this trade if it comes below the trend line. Take it when it comes above, and that's why. You get your wash and rinse of this level again, even though we had a real sexy one here, but we got another one. So this actually wasn't a difficult trade, but I didn't have a video out for it at the time. You didn't want to take this, but where you did want to take it was the next level of confluence. It was actually built structure-wise out of here. So it was right, 2/1. You get your trade in here, and it went 26 pips before it would have tested the level, which is kind of shitty. But there we are. And that was a confluence with the L4, as you can see. So that was cool. I had no trade there last night. I saw it come through here, and I saw the, oops, Christ. I saw it come through, and I think it was this bar. I was like, wow, and then, I think it was actually creating this bar when I left. And I could have stayed around for that, but what I'd like to do is trade this market up. So when I'm looking in the bigger time frame for a trade up, and I see a trade down, I'm not too excited, especially when I see a trade up into the resistance that we just broke. See all this whipsaw that happened in the New York Open? That's because this is actually a nice breathe of this level. So you got this, look at that nice candle, rejection, and then goes back up again, and then good rejection, and then it turns into a hammer, and then, and then back down, and then so it's just that kind of crap getting through that level again. This level later on in the New York session actually wasn't a bad level to get in because we had gone over the pivot, got a bit of a retracement. It's really tough to take that trade. I don't have fibs in that level, so it's a really tough way to take it. But anyway, this level here in the late New York session wasn't bad, but it took forever to get its takeoff. It wouldn't make a higher high, and it was floating over this trend line, and then finally we get that, and it's just Asian session stuff. So, and then tonight you're getting a late video because I really don't have anything. The only thing I have here, which is really lame, if you ask me, is I have a confluence of a 38.2 retracement and the pivot and a break breathe here. I like all those. But it's not much because I don't have any fib structure in here to say, yes, we're doing that. If we go and make a higher high, I don't want to take this trade. Of course, it'll change this level, right? If we go make higher highs, this level changes, so watch for that. But if we do build some structure and head for down and it looks good, I'll try to take something, but man, this has been a slow takeoff into the upper levels. And I don't even like this trade here. I don't like break, breathe. Well, it depends. If it's like a spike and then gives me some structure or some way of my system to get in, I would like it, but it's real structureless for support for me anyway. This is the reason I want to take this trade up off this level, right? So we got this level here, the pivot and the L3 and the 38.2 retracement. It's all about 22.65 kind of area. And if you look over here, we've got this big trend line that I've been watching, and we finally see where we were fluttering there, and then we popped it. It was funny because we were over a trend line in the smaller level here, and we were up getting knocked because we were sitting at a major trend line here. So that's why you had that tiny little garbage, right? Because it was stuck. But anyway, we got above it, and I would like to see a lower low of the night and 65, which is right here. So what time is it here? 11. So on the next candle, let me zoom in here a bit now that we know what trend line we're working with. this monster here. So if we come down in the next hour candle, this is again a little tight there too. Well, this is a loose trend line, so anyway, I would be looking at this like a break, breathe, and the fib down is, there's no structure fib in here, so I'm basically trying to take it out of the pivot L3 area and the retracement 38.2, right? So that's my only trade tonight. I'm going to throw it there. And again, I'm looking for exact same levels again. We're going to the bigger levels here, and oh yeah, they're still there. I don't have all the fibs that coincide with these, but we have two major fibs in here. Oh, I'll throw them in. So we got the 1618 just below the 38.2 retracement of this full leg. And then if I do another one from here, we get confluence, which is what we're looking for, right? And if we get above this level, it's going to be a severe level to come back through. So why does that look so retarded? I thought it was confluence at 100%. What is going on? Huh. Did I do it from down here? Oh, I was doing the full move, right? So yeah, so we got a confluence with the 100% and the 1618. So that's why I did like that level there. Now we also have a confluence with the 50% and the 1618 there, and we have a 2/1 fib, which just happens to coincide with all that up here. So although this is going to be tough, that would be gorgeous because we're coming into the swing low over here, right? 50% and the swing low. So you got some big prior market swing low and a 50% retracement and a 1618 extension and a 2/1 extension. Hello, that's tough. While this one, we have a confluence of the same indicator, which is not really a confluence if you ask me, and a 38.2 retracement and this tiny little bit of structure that we'll be touching, right? So I like this level better to sell. That's all I'm trying to say. And then if we do sell out of here, all I'm looking for is to come back down to this trend line. That's all I'd be looking for. So tonight I'm looking to come up into here. If we get our entry, which is down here, I'd be looking to come up into here, which is almost 100 pips, and then with an ultimate target of 166. So it's not huge. It's not major market, even though it could be a turning point in the market, blah, blah, blah. That's the safe trade, and it's good risk reward. So that's why I like all that. And then daily, I don't think it's showing us any magic. No, look at these. We're getting some wicked stop grabbers in this area. And if we close above that, it's going to be actually quite a lot of pressure up at that point. If we close above that area. Anyway, watching the daily, if you get a close below this, sorry, the 3x3 here, if you get a close below the 3x3, we might be looking at all these levels for not getting hit. So, although we have finally broken a big trend line, so we might finally get some moving action without being wash and rinse, right? Like that, wash and rinse. That actually doesn't look so much like a wash and rinse there, but in the 1 hour, she was. Yeah. Anyway, I got no trades down, so we're moving up, and we look like we're going up, and blah, blah, blah. And another reason is the gold. Gold, we're sitting above pivot. So finally we have some confluence with gold being above pivot and euro above pivot again. And we have a nice level with a nice target. Come on down. Remember, if we make higher highs, all this stuff has to be reset, or you have to play with your levels again and see if it builds some structure. Yeah, that's it. All right, thanks guys, bye.